The 2019 GNAC men's basketball champions are the Falcons of Seattle Pacific University. They win the GNAC Championship final over Western Oregon by a score of 78-66. Joining us in the postgame press conference is head coach Grant Leep and the GNAC Championships MVP Coleman Wooten. Coach, congratulations. Real hard-fought game, but Seattle Pacific seemed to have Western's number all night. It didn't look like it was about to even turn into what we saw last night between Western Oregon and St. Martin's.
Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations to that Western Oregon squad. They've played great down the stretch, and for them to be in 4 straight GNAC championships is quite a feat. But this group that we have right now at SPU doesn't get rattled. They stay together. They're tough. They've made big shots. I think you could go down the line. I think each one of our seniors at one point made a huge, just a senior veteran experience play, led by this guy sitting next to me here. He really set the tone for our group tonight, and he's been lights out the last few weeks over our win streak. And then it's unreal. Guys just stepping up and making the right plays.
Coleman, you finished with 25 points on 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 4 from three-point range, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, and finished off with the double-double by getting 11 rebounds. You were going inside, outside. Talk about what you were seeing from Western Oregon's very good defense that allowed you to be able to move the ball around so well tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first things first. This is just an amazing feeling. Like all glory to God for this. It's a blessing. Not doing any of this without him. And yeah, they play a very aggressive man and get out in passing lane. So just kind of found him out of position a little bit early. Was able to get an early 3 in. It's always very helpful to see one of those go through. Then they started playing a zone, and hats off to them. That was their 3rd straight game in 3 days. It's tough to do. So just that zone. They get a little spread out in it with their pressure, and just being able to get the ball into the high post there and go to work, and scored some early buckets in there, and then Gav hits a big 3 out of it early to start the second half. So we had a lot of dudes clicking tonight.
Coleman, you were the tournament MVP, but it was a pretty difficult decision, actually. Gavin Long, you mentioned. Also, he had 17 tonight. Mm-hmm. Huge game last night. Just talk about Gavin's performances.
He's a stud. Personally, I think he should have been a first-team All-League player this year. I think he's at that level, and there's stretches that he's absolutely carried us this year. I can think back Billings game on senior night. He scored 10 straight points to just carry us. He willed us to a win yesterday. He's a stud. He's one of our dudes. He's a very good player.
Coach Leep, you've accomplished some things this season, 20-win season, your first as the coach, and now you've clinched a spot in the NCAA tournament. Just your thoughts on those accomplishments.
I'm just so proud of our group. They stay together. There's adversity at every turn, and it's so easy to break apart. It just is. There's a number of different things that are always constantly pulling at you, and this group, more than any group I've been a part of, has come together, and they play as one, and they care about each other. They make plays for each other. It starts with this guy, and it starts with Sam Simpson and Nathan Stroyford, our senior captains. They've set such a great foundation for our young guys to learn from, and then that just bleeds through the rest of our program. And it's intentional, and it takes work, and these guys have been all about it, and I couldn't be more proud for this group and this team.
A little over a month ago, it probably seemed unlikely you'd be sitting here right now with championship T-shirts on. In a 3-game losing streak, what turned things around for either of you?
It made us run a lot in the practice on Monday after that Billings game. And, sometimes that's what it takes. But, our team has really come together just as a whole. We're a very tight unit. We do, everything on the court together. Things start maybe going a little sideways, and we come here. We're out there praying before every game. There's just something to that. I think just the relationship that each dude's got, with the Lord on our team. And I think that's really cool and something special. And we just lean on each other. We don't spread apart ever. And I think that's the key, to what's been going on here.
Coach, what advice are you going to give your team going into the NCAA tournament?
Be us. Do the things that we've done to this point. we're a hard team to beat. You look at that first half tonight. You know, the advantages that Western Oregon had were because of our turnovers and their offensive rebounds. Those are things that we control. When we do what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it, we're a tough team to beat, and it's really been exemplified over this 12-game win streak. But when, you know, again, going back to these experienced guys that we have, they've played minutes together, they've been together for a long time, and you can't fake that stuff. That's genuine and it's real, and it's fun to play that way. And our guys have done an awesome job of just buying into who we are and what we're about.
You started the season by having your first 2 games canceled because of the wildfires down in California, and it made for a bit of a bumpy start going through November and December for your team. What came together between November, getting through the disappointment, not starting the season on time, to this point?
Guys came together, they grew into their roles, they accepted responsibility for what they needed to, and they stayed true to themselves. And, you know, we've worked really hard. I mean, Nikhil Lazat's development as a point guard this year is absolutely remarkable. And, you know, we got dealt another blow right after when Gabe Colosimo tore his ACL, and we needed somebody to step up and fill that point guard role. And between Nikhil and then our true freshman, Devontae Moffitt, who just seems to get better daily, those guys have developed so much. But the leadership that we get from Coleman, from Sam, and from Nate is just absolutely remarkable. They're great people, and it's so much fun to coach smart guys that care about one another, and that's exactly what we have at SPU.
We'll find out tomorrow how many teams from the GNAC end up in the field of 8. We'll find out where they're going to play. Will it be Lacey? Will it be San Diego? Either way, can you address the relative strength of the GNAC and men's basketball within the entire West region? We had a tournament this week where 1 through 6 could have come away winning this thing.
Our conference, the depth in our conference is unbelievable. I mean, you go down the line. I mean, since Coach Shaw's been at Western Oregon, they've taken their program to new heights. St. Martin's has had a run amongst the best in their school history. NNU with Coach Rush, what they've been doing is amongst the best in school history. And then obviously the big traditional programs in our conference, Central Washington, Western Washington. There's never an easy game. Alaska Anchorage, that trip is always a bear. You don't get a night off. If you don't bring your best every night, you're going to get beat. And it just showed the depth of this conference is truly remarkable. I think it's the best conference that we have in the West region, top to bottom. And hopefully with the selection show tomorrow, I'd love to see if we get 3 GNAC teams in. I think it's well-deserved. And you know, I'll be a GNAC homer all the way through on this one. We have some really good teams in this league. And for us to come through tonight is just a real big testament to our group.
Last question for you, Coleman. What does it mean to have reached this pinnacle in this season for you as an SPU player?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's my senior year. It's an amazing feeling. I mean, we won one of these when I was a redshirt freshman. I didn't get to travel, so and even just the buzz of that afterwards was really cool. And just the culture we built here, and I mean, it's just such a cool feeling. And it's amazing when you're just out there doing it for the guys around you, and that's the special thing about us. And one more thing, I gotta give my sister Grace Wooten, Concordia women's soccer player, a shout out. So she was a freshman this year. They also won the GNAC tournament, so we got 2 of those in our household now. So that's really cool. So I just need to say that.
Greatness in the tournament runs in the family, and Seattle Pacific will be on to the NCAA tournament after a 78-66 win over Western Oregon in the GNAC Championships final. Head coach Grant Leep, Coleman Wooten, congratulations and best of luck in the regional.
Thank you.